to With Open Arms. This is Nadia.
And Crystalline.
And Renee.
And so we decided to hop on a Zoom call today just to kind of talk about our experience during this COVID-19 crisis that has wreaked havoc amongst our world. We just wanted to do a brief check-in, offer some positive encouragement, and, just report live from our bedrooms or our humble abodes. So, ladies, what have you been up to? How are you doing quarantine life?
I'm doing good. I mean, I've been working. I'm blessed enough to have a job where I'm still able to work from home. And I have
Yes.
a little office set up in my room. It took me a little bit to get that situated and get comfortable because I wasn't used to
Right.
working from home. But now I have it all situated and it's nice and comfy. Waking up in the mornings, I'm getting back into that morning routine. I was really
Right.
struggling and God was definitely working on my discipline, helping me to get up at a reasonable hour because I
Right.
would wake up, roll out of bed, and literally straight to my computer chair and just get working. Didn't even wash my face, didn't even brush my teeth. Maybe that's TMI, sorry, but and I would just start working, and I'm like, I need to get back into that morning routine of getting up and actually getting ready and spending that time in the morning with God. And I was really noticing the difference in myself of just feeling lacking spiritually, and I was just feeling way heavier than I normally feel. And
Mm.
God was just showing me that I was missing my spiritual nutrition, right? My spiritual breakfast. That's when I was getting my download from God in the mornings, and not having that time anymore and spending that time doing that. I was falling out of it. But
Isn't it crazy how with more time we become more distracted somehow and less spiritually fed than the hustle and bustle? It's like when we're in the hustle and bustle, it's easier to make time for some reason. I think because it was a routine thing,
And
you
falling out of
know.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, so you end up kind of losing out on the routine, making time to have your spiritual breakfast. You know what I mean? Because you're waking up later or you're just distracted with anything.
yeah, just excuses, to be honest. At the end of the day, it was just excuses. Oh, I was finding an excuse to stay up later in the night because I
Yeah.
didn't have to up early for work, and then I would
Right.
just sleep in because I'm like, well, I can just roll out of bed and start working, so I don't really have to wake up, you know.
Mhm.
So it's just that's when God really comes in and is like, but hey, no, this is our time. This is our meeting time. This is our appointment, and you cannot be late. So
Right.
your booty out of bed and come talk.
Right.
Well, see, I don't know about you guys, but when I worked a 9 to 5, I literally abhorred my jobs that I worked, and I was working them out of convenience, knowing that they weren't my end all be all. And so they motivated me I needed to read the word in order to basically stay sane, to go into those environments and deal with the people that I was dealing with at the time.
Right.
So that was motivational for me, just thinking back. But recently for me, since, I'm a mom, I have 2 kids, I want to say, because we've been in transition of me ultimately moving the girls towards doing homeschool, that it's just been a quicker reality check for me. Oh,
Like
it's real.
God said go. You've been talking about it. Do it
Right, not next year. We're gonna do it this year, but and it's
today.
yeah, and it's almost been a blessing because it's great practice. It's mosing us on into what we were going to end up doing anyway, which is
Absolutely.
sooner than I expected. Yeah. And so
Right.
for me, because I'm pregnant too, I have all these hormones and I'm out of all the times.
Pregnant? Let's see.
Yeah, literally, right?
Can we see?
Yeah,
Hi, baby.
literally. Got a lot going on over here. So with
Right?
plans closed and just being trapped in the house, trapped, I have to find really good reasons to really go out if need be. But because I have assistants around the house, I really don't have to go out. But I need fresh air because I'm used to just being super social and having all my friends and going out and doing, activities and events. So it's been a little bit of a scraggle, but like Crystalline, it's a great opportunity. It's never a problem. I never say, I hate the word like problem. It's never a problem. It's an opportunity, right? On a
Yeah.
deeper spiritual level. And so for me, because I'm a little rebellious, I've really heard the word. The Holy Spirit's been talking to me, telling me it's just time. Like, the word is food.
Right.
It's important for us to maintain food. And everybody was thinking, go shopping, go grab all this food. But it's like, no, the word of God is food.
Yeah.
So you need to continue to eat for sure. So
Amen.
I'm slowly but surely getting back on track. I'm gonna be like Crystal and be like, and
Yes, because Crystalline's beach waves looks like she just came from the beach. I'm not even gonna lie.
no, she looks amazing.
Okay.
That's
They're
not
shut down.
The same kind, I'm kind of like you, Renee. I've been, because I have a son, a 2-year-old, and I'm still working and working from home and doing school. I've been honestly busier now than before.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's a blessing, you know what I mean? Because I have some sense of normalcy to my daily routine or my weekly routine. But I'm super grateful for the time with my son, but I want to be able to like just have the time with my son and not have to do all these things at home.
Right.
But duty calls, you got to do what you got to do. And so I've been like trying to stay on my schedule with my devotionals that I do and reading those. But then the thing is like I start to feel guilty, like I'm not spending enough time because if I'm not working, like, like it's just I'm one of those people. Nothing I do is ever good enough, or like I feel guilty because I feel like God's gonna be mad at me if I'm not doing enough for Him amongst everything that I'm doing. But what this whole scenario has taught me is to be okay with just sitting down and resting. God called us to do that. He called us to rest. He told us that blatantly clear. He said being clean is next to Him, next to godliness. So He's got us doing that. He's got us covered up. I'm reminded, it's crazy when I see all of the people covering their nose. I'm reminded of the Nation of Islam. They all, not all of them, but a lot of them cover. And I'm like, wow, you know, I wonder if they've had it right the whole time. You know what I mean? Like it just makes you wonder. Like, what are we? Is this what it's gonna be? Like, are we about to be masked?
And that's the reality of it. I think that there is really like and I'm happy that you brought that up because, oftentimes, I mean, well, especially, I don't know, if I'm going to speak for myself. How about I do? So, I always felt it was very conservative of women, but there is a reverence and there's a virtue in being able to cover yourself up and in that, and as I get older, and I went from like full on cleavage, like in my 20s and boosted Victoria bras for super cleavage to now being, a mom of going to be 3 and, married. And I think that covering up is actually really sexy, because
Yeah, me too.
inner content enough to be attractive, and it's just different. So it just, it takes a different tone, but it is interesting to now see, like, we're so free and so open to now, like, you have to cover up. Like, people will call the cops on you. Like, you don't cover up, it's that radical. And it's
like, or you're really not going in a Target to get what you need in some places. A lot of people are really, a lot of places are just really being strict about the mask, the covering up. And so I was just thinking about the deeper, the more spiritual meaning. And like, that just came up in my mind. The Nation of Islam, they've it's been plenty of different religions that's covered, their nose and mouth. I'm not quite sure why.
It's the attractiveness. Because people have,
Oh.
those voluptuous lips like you, Nadia. You can't be seeing that. You can't be,
Also, if I'm walking around like this, it's keeping me.
oh, you be in trouble in Dubai. You got to cover those lips up, okay?
I'm not about to play with you. I'm not about to. So, what have you all like been doing to pass your time?
I feel like I have plenty to pass my time. I'm kind of like, where's the more, like, I need more time. Like the time is just seems to be like slipping away.
Isn't it
And
crazy?
I'm working from home and I don't have like my commute to work, which was like 45 minutes to work, 45 minutes to an hour home. It's like, even though that isn't there anymore, it's still that like going back to that discipline of getting up early enough so that I can start work on time, so that I can end work on time, so that I'm not like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, and if you like slack on one thing, it just spirals and like snowballs
Mhm.
into like, and it just, the rest of your day is kind of like, well, what happened? Because now I just slept in a little bit too long. I got to work extra long. I
Yeah.
don't have this. And so, um, like I said, I've just been getting better about like getting up and reading and like actually get for the day and like that,
Yeah.
and like watching a devotional. So, or sorry, not a devotional, but I'll be watching Mike Todd or Stephen Furtick, like catching up from the weekend before.
Mhm.
And so now I'm like being more cautious about like making sure that I'm doing that and getting
Right.
fed spiritual nutrition in the morning. And then
Mm-hmm.
just really, like you said, Nadia, doing my devotionals during the day, like on the Bible app. I have 2 or 3 plans that I'm doing. So just like really being intentional about being in those. And then in the evenings, just like reading my word
Nice.
as
You're
usual.
so blessed. You are so blessed.
Stop it. We all are blessed.
We all are blessed.
Yeah.
But I have been chasing around a 2-year-old trying to get him
Mhm.
from going completely insane. He's so over anybody that's not an animal or a kid. So, like, if you're not an animal or a kid, he's like over you. So,
Mhm.
a lot of my spare time has been trying to do fun things outside, be it bubbles, running around,
Mhm.
playing with chalk, coloring, those kind of things. And, luckily he doesn't have to learn a curriculum. So it's not like I'm actually homeschooling just yet with all the things that I'm doing, but
Yeah.
to be his only source of entertainment during this time is really taxing. It's tiring.
Yeah.
I'm tired. But I'm grateful. Like I love the opportunity to spend this time, you know?
Yeah. I completely agree with you. I think for me, I've just been taking this time to really dive into the things that I've been procrastinating with,
Mm,
things on my to-do list. I do have things that I have to do that are imminent, that like need my attention. But a lot of this time I've been devoting to really just diving into the areas where I haven't really felt the most comfortable and just mastering those things. My mom was, a commuter. And so I was a latchkey kid growing up. And so I was
mm,
raised in a household where she had everything set up. It was microwavable, you know what I mean? And then when she came home and cooked dinner, we didn't really get a lot of one-on-one time. I was able to really take care of myself as a latchkey kid. And, I didn't get to spend a lot of one-on-one time with my mom. So now having 2 kids, walking this earth right now, and they want to cook and they want to, help mommy clean and they have
that's
homework.
wonderful.
Yeah, it's tough, but it's beautiful, right? So
Hmm.
it's like, one, but I won't say that, it's perfect, but I will say that it's progress. And sometimes I forget to celebrate myself because I didn't grow up in a household like this, so I can't have this high expectation on myself to be perfect and everything's going to look good. The house is going to look good all the time. And, I'm going to be in the best mood or, you know what I'm saying? It's like a training period. And in any time of type of conditioning, as like playing sports or whatever you're learning, it just you fall, you get back up, you fall, you get back up, you have to retrain your muscles, muscle memory, so it feels horrible in the beginning, but the more that you keep doing it, the more it's chalk time, and the more you're having, time to do morning devotionals, Crystalline, and you know what I'm saying? Like it just begins to feel, more like breathing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it feels
Mhm.
super foreign in the beginning. Crystalline, you're like, I went from like not brushing my teeth, washing my face, to now you're like, I'm, like you're getting in your groove now. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So I always feel like, just looking at the day in hindsight, I forget to give ourselves like gratitude. Like
Mhm.
gratitude is the highest perspective, like spiritually
Mhm.
because it's so easy to find like and point out everything that's going wrong, or what you didn't do right, or how bad you feel. Like that's so easy to do, but it's like an attitude of gratitude goes so much further, and we actually need to praise ourselves more. Like, Nadia, I'm super proud of you. Like, you're going to school, and like you
It's
have
a
a
lot.
little man. And Crystal, and like, so
Really, it's a lot though with school and work and him, and it's hard.
mhm.
It's
But it's
hard.
But you're
that
doing it.
right. Like we're forced into these situations, but at the same time, like it's learning, it's all opportunities, right? Like Renee said, like looking for the opportunity in the situation that we're in. Like we might
Mhm.
be like, yeah, we're stuck at home and maybe we have all this extra time, maybe we don't, but it's like, what are we able to do in that time? Like instead of looking at it like a curse or like, oh man, this is so horrible that I have to be stuck here, like instead look at it, like flip that perspective and be like, what can I be doing in this time? Like, what are the opportunities available to me? Like, what are ways that I can like serve, whether that's my neighbors, my community, my family, my household, myself, whatever it is, like look for the opportunities, because if you do, then like you're gonna find them, right? Like you're finding all of your opportunities to spend time with your son and like things
Mhm.
that you are doing now, like you probably weren't able to do that stuff before because you were
Right.
so busy with work and commuting and
Right.
the day-to-day things that you don't have time for that, and now you do.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
think that's a real blessing. And
Yeah, I'm super grateful for that. So what do you ladies think, just to kind of wrap this up, what do you think is the number one thing God is telling you or speaking into your spirit at this time of just kind of isolation and quietness? What do you think he is the main lesson he wants for you to learn specifically?
I'm
I
like,
think for me,
oh, go ahead.
oh,
No, go ahead. Go
sorry.
ahead, Crystal. Go ahead.
For me, it's just like kind of bringing me back to square one and helping me to realize and see like who really sits on the throne of my heart, who I really was worshiping. And it doesn't even have to be who, it could be what, like whether it's food, money, stocks, like whatever you want to call it, your job, like what were you like, he's asking me like what were you worshiping, like what was sitting on the throne of your heart. And if it wasn't me, then you need to backtrack and make sure that it's me again.
Right.
And so he's just
Right.
really doing that, like putting that on my heart to just continue to like seek him more and just be in the word more and just really focus on him and like what he's saying to me at this time. So
How about
Yes.
you, Renee?
Yes. Well, I feel like TD Jakes in this moment. I don't know if you guys watch TD Jakes, but he's like, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Like, he's always like, get ready. So that's how
Mhm.
I feel like, that's been my mantra for the season is get ready. And
Right.
every day it takes on a new meaning, but that's the whole point of being intimate and having intimate spiritual relationship is taking it one day at a time, going line upon line, precept upon precept, and not trying to make it anything more than what God is telling me to do for the day. So
Right.
I'm just trying to be and work, and so I want to, continue to make space for God to pour in and to create new opportunities for this season. I'm just open.
Right.
that's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, I feel God definitely saying, get ready, seek me more. But I was listening to a wonderful message by Stephen Furtick, and he was saying, when everything's shaken up and nothing looks the same, what one thing can never be shaken? God. God will stay the same no matter what. Our lives changed like that,
Right.
you know? So the fact that everything is different, but God is still the same, and we can still hold tight to Him and lean on Him in these times, you know, I feel like that is the number one thing that I've gained from this is knowing that like everything is subject to change
Mhm.
and God is still good. He's the one
Right.
thing that won't change, you know.
So good.
Um
Amen.
yeah, so I just definitely I really am, it's so good to see you girls. I definitely just wanted to connect with you and check in on you. Um you know, speak to the people, our generation, and just offer them a little encouragement. Is there something that you would like to say to encourage them before we get off the call?
Go ahead, Crystalline.
We're like, who's gonna go? Who's gonna go? I would just say, really try to focus on being present. I think that kind of ties in with what Renee was saying. Just really focusing on what can you do now and what is God speaking to you right now. And not trying to worry about the past. Like, don't think about yesterday, the things that you could have done, you should have done, you know,
Right.
yesterday in the past, like, because it's gone, right? Instead, focus on right here and right now and what you can do right now rather than looking to the future also, because
Yeah.
that to come and tomorrow will worry about itself, right? So
Right.
I would just
Right.
say, really encourage everybody to just be present and seek God more.
Right.
Yes, that's good. That's good. I am in a complete agreement with what Crystalline said. And just to expand on that thought, every day that we get up, it's a new creation, it's a new opportunity, it's a new day. And just to release old expectations and just be open for the new, be open for what God has,
Yes.
just release all that old stuff. Today's a new day. Each day is a new day and a new opportunity, and it's a new lesson. And God's saying something different every day. And just focus on, hearing that, putting yourself in position, environments around people that are really going to amplify what God is telling you to do in your life, rather than
Hmm.
take away and decrease. This is a great season. It's a great excuse to isolate and remove individuals out of your life that are deemed as toxic or distractions. And so take advantage and just
Right.
move and watch. God's going to bless it.
Yes. I feel like right now is the time for good and bad. All of it is being exposed. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Good people, good opportunities, bad people, bad opportunities. I feel like it's all being exposed. I think our eyes are opening to what's truly important. We're staying connected. We're calling people more. Where we could go 2-3 weeks without checking on somebody, a month without checking on our friends. It's like now we have plenty of time to make sure we stay connected,
Right.
and really truly tap into what's important.
Yeah.
Community, your family, your friends,
Mm-hmm.
like we don't know what this government is truly up to. All we know is what's going on in our homes. All we know is what God told us. So we're just trusting God and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
And I thank God that all things work together for the good of those who love Him so we can have peace in this time.
Yeah.
If you know you love God, then you should have peace, period. No fear, no worry. Cast our burdens onto God because He cares for us,
Yes.
you know?
And just being
So,
grateful also. I just want to add that. Just
yeah,
being grateful, like being grateful for the breath
gratefulness.
body, and like what
Mhm.
Renee talked about earlier, the attitude of gratitude, like really taking that seriously and really just looking at your life and the things that are in it and just recognizing it and thanking God for it. Like
Absolutely.
He supplied, like you have a roof over your head, like thank him for the shoes on your feet, the clothes
Yeah.
on your back,
Yeah.
have a car for the car that you have. If you still have a job, thank him for the job that you have. Like have a cell phone. Like there's so many little
If you
things.
lost your job, thank you, God, for the opportunity for redirection because a lot of people don't understand. Sometimes it takes the rug being pulled from under you for you to make that change that has been needed, you know. So be grateful for even the things that don't seem like a blessing. They're usually blessings in disguise,
Yes, that's great.
Absolutely.
you know.
That's a great thing. Just like for people to be encouraged, like you said, Nadia, oftentimes we think about something as perceived as negative, but it is an opportunity. It's
Right.
definitely an opportunity. And the great thing about it is that if someone was fired because of your own doing, it's like when you love God, like all things work for the greater good. So
Right.
things are going to be, things are going to be fine. Things will work themselves out because you're going to get closer
Absolutely.
to your goal regardless. And that's just God's love. Like he's just omnipotent and amazing. And so for anybody that's going through something, don't be hard on yourself. Just embrace your season, tap into your gifts, continue to tap into positive environments and communities. And God's going to open up a new door for you. Just stay positive and don't give up.
Yes. Yes. So us over here at With Open Arms, just want to say we love you. We're praying for you and thank you for joining us. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.